Hi, I'm Leigh Johnson from Proud-autistic Coaching. It hit me the other day just how far I've come on my unmasking journey. I feel incredible compared to how I felt just 6 years ago before I realized I was autistic. So I thought I'd share a bit about my journey to get there so that others in that place can see the possibilities, because I really didn't at the time. Before I started to realize that I had major sensory sensitivities, I was so overwhelmed all the time. And realizing that I had those sensitivities came before I figured out I was autistic, which I talked about in another video. I was overwhelmed by constant social interactions, constant sensory overload, and the emotional turmoil of feeling like I just didn't fit in the world. And I held all of it inside, like a pit of self-loathing in my stomach that I told almost nobody about. I hid my overwhelm and tried to act as I saw others doing. I was very high masking, but I was miserable and told my therapist often that there was something wrong with me that I just couldn't figure out. Even after I gained an understanding of my autism and sensory needs to some extent, I felt broken. In some ways, it felt worse right after my diagnosis, because even though I knew what was wrong with me, I felt like I'd received a life sentence of being broken with no possibility of parole. I struggled to tell anyone about my diagnosis and struggled to find any useful supports. All of this I go into about in another video about my diagnosis story. Being aware of my different needs just made them feel more overwhelming and made me feel like I had no way out of this overwhelm because the problem was me. Cue Taylor Swift lyrics. Then I discovered the social model of disability. I was at a talk that I'd helped organize at my kids' elementary school from a local disability advocacy and support organization, the ARC of King County, which does really wonderful work. I'd been taught my whole life the medical model of disability, which promotes the idea that disabilities are caused by a person being defective, being abnormal. And I had internalized this way of thinking. Yet the social model of disability shows that disability is caused by society not meeting the needs of those who simply need different things from what the majority needs. For example, someone who uses a wheelchair can easily get around anywhere that is built with wheelchair users in mind, just as most of our world is built with people who use their legs in mind. But if we built it in a way that put wheelchair users in mind, it would be completely different. It's all about who you're centering when you're building out society and supports. And it's only when the wheelchair users are in places that ignore their existence and have things like stairs, rough terrain, curbs with no ramps, that they experience being disabled. It is society ignoring these needs that disables them. Once again, it is not about the difference about somebody and their different ability, their disability. It is about society ignoring their needs that causes their disability. And the same is true for autistic people. I bring up the social model of disability while talking about my unmasking journey because it was the key to undoing my internalized ableism that told me that I should mask. Internalized ableism told me to hide my autism and my autistic needs from others. It told me to pretend that I was fine when I wasn't. It told me to keep doing things that overwhelmed me just because I was supposed to do them as an adult in our society. And once I knew about the social model of disability, I realized that the problem wasn't my autistic needs. Instead, it was the society's neurotypical expectations that were disabling me. And this absolutely freed me. I saw that my needs were valid and I felt empowered to honor them, even when they didn't match society's expectations. For example, I grew comfortable with wearing earplugs and my comfiest clothes at any time. I used fidgets anywhere and everywhere. I spoke up when something was too bright, too loud, or too social for me. Most importantly, I started to say no to the things I knew would overwhelm me. I learned countless ways that I could protect my sensory and social needs. And I even grew proud of my autistic identity and got comfortable telling everyone about my autism. It's kind of necessary when your business is coaching other autistic adults. So you may be in that place that I was in around the time of my diagnosis. You may feel broken and feel like you have to hide your autism. You may see that masking is exhausting you, but struggle to find another way to be. Please know that there is a path forward out of this internalized ableism. You are on your own unmasking journey that will take many steps. It definitely has taken me years, and I'm still on that journey. I'm not saying that I've arrived to a completely unmasked place. But I hope that learning about the social model of disability can help you like it helped me. And I hope that the resources that I'll be sharing about unmasking in my next few videos will help as well. I believe in you, and I know if I can unmask, you can too. I also have a resource for free that will help you in your unmasking journey. It's my essential scripts for self-talk while unmasking. You can download it and get started on changing the negative self-talk that is keeping you masked. Have a good one. Bye.